Hey everybody, I'm glad to be back making a brand new video, and I'm finally getting over this cold that's been going around the VC community. I recently just watched a new video by Mean Mr. Mayo, or Joe, and it's a tag that's going around, the 20 questions video of 2017. So I was inspired by his video to make my own. So here we go. 20 questions. First question, how many records do you own? I own about 2,000 records, I think. I've never actually counted them one by one, but I know I have about 1,500 in these record shelves that are right below you currently. And I think I have about 200 in my closet, and then in our garage, I think I have about 2 tubs full of maybe 100 to 300 records. So puts me roughly around 2,000. I need to slim down a little bit, but it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. So. 2,000 is okay. That's a good number. It'll probably increase, but we're cool with it, right? I'm cool with it. I hope you are. Question number 2. What kind of record player do you have? I have a dual 1218, and it belonged to my grandparents. And the cool thing about it is that when I had it serviced about 2 years ago, and I take it to my friend Casey, because he works on record players and all that kind of stuff, he noticed that on the very bottom of it, etched in the metal, was my grandpa's name and his driver's license number. And I guess back in the day, that's what you would do when you bought a new stereo system. You would etch your name and driver's license number at the bottom of it. In case it was ever stolen, the police could see that, oh, okay, this is who it belongs to. So it's kind of cool to have my grandparents' record player. And it sounds really, really good, works great. And I feel very lucky to have it. So that's answering question number 2. Question number 3. How old were you when you first started collecting records? Well, I was born into a record collecting family. My mom and dad both collect and collected records when I was growing up. So I remember being about maybe 4 or 5 years old, and I would actually take some of their records and put them in a pile as my records. So I kind of felt like I was collecting even back then. But as far as officially collecting records with my own money, you'll get the answer to that question coming up soon, because I believe that that is an actual question. Coming up, so stay tuned. I'm looking over here because this is where I have the questions written down, so I'm not just gazing off into space and reading reciting Hamlet or something. I won't do that in this video. Number 4. What is the oldest record you have? The oldest record I have is a ~78 by the Ink Spots called Maybe. It's a song I really like, and I looked it up online, and I believe it's from 1940. I think I have an original pressing, and I believe it's from 1940, so that's the closest I can get. All my '78s, I don't have it with me right now to show you. All my '78s are back at my parents' house, along with my Victrola. It's one of the last things I haven't moved over to my new place, but I am going to bring it over here, and when I do, I'll make a video. I think I'm going to put it in the living room, probably next to the jukebox, because it'd be kind of cool to have a jukebox and a Victrola next to each other. You can compare the terrible audio quality. Okay, let's carry on here with question number 5. What is the first record you ever got? Okay, first record I ever got, I happen to have it right here to show you. Like I said, my parents had a big record collection, and when I was a little kid, I remember the very, very first record I ever put on the turntable myself and listened to on my own was this Beatles' White Album, and this belonged to my dad. And I remember him actually giving it to me and saying, you can have this. This is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. And I was so excited about it. I tried to take the best care I could of it. And I remember listening to, I Will. Oh, the cat decided, you can't see him, but the cat just jumped up here. And he might try to, we'll take the keyboard away so we can't get too crazy with it. But I remember playing this White Album, and my dad gave it to me and said, it's yours to do whatever you want with. I listened to the record 1. I listened to I Will and Martha, My Dear, over and over and over and over again. And I was just so excited to have my own record. So this is the first record I ever had, White Album. And it's like an early 70s pressing, US copy. It's in kind of real bad shape right now, but it's the original one, so I'm happy to have it. Question number 6. Okay, so this is, what is the first record you ever bought with your own money? Okay, so this will answer also when I first started collecting records. I was about 7 years old, and my dad and I went to the record store. Actually, it's a record outlet, which my friend Casey now owns, but at the time he didn't own it. Oh, Bobby's decided to make an appearance in the video here. Okay, so we walked in the record store, and my dad owned all of the Beatles' U.S. collection, almost all of it, I think. He had almost everything. But there was one album he didn't have, and it was this, the Beatles' Live at the Hollywood Bowl record. And I remember thinking, like, well, he doesn't have it, so I should buy it. And so I did. And this happens to be the exact record I bought that day. And I remember being so excited. I think it was $3, which is awesome. It was $3, and I was so excited that it had a gatefold like the White Album, which I thought was very impressive. And I just loved it. I listened to it over and over and over again. And this is the first record I ever bought with my own money. I'm so happy I still have it. So, Live at the Hollywood Bowl. Okay, question number 6. No, I just did number 6. Number 7. What is your favorite colored vinyl? Okay, I don't have that many colored vinyl albums, but I have a few, and the one I chose is one of my favorite records, and it's by Nico Case. It's called Blacklisted. This happens to be a reissue, released I think in 2015, and this is just a great album. Nico Case is a fantastic artist. If you haven't heard her, check her out. But it comes on this cool purple/pink vinyl, which I think is really cool. I don't really have any of those like swirly colored vinyl albums. So this is the one I'm choosing, and I really like it a whole lot. So Nico Case, Blacklisted. If you haven't heard this, like I said, check it out because she's really cool. If you like jangly guitars and kind of moody music, she's the way to go. Okay. Question number 8. What is a discount album you got? A discount album I got. Well, I was looking for this particular record for a long, long time. I didn't think I'd ever find it in a discount bin, but there was a $1 bin at this store in Ventura, and I found this, Emmett Rhodes. It's his debut album on Dunhill, and it's a really hard record for me to find, or it always was at least. And when I found it, I couldn't believe it was $1. I took it up to the guy and I said, "How much is this?" He said, $1. And I said, "Okay." And so I bought it, and it's in really good shape. The vinyl was unplayed, and it's one of my favorite albums. So Emmett Rhodes, debut album, my best discount find. Next question, number 9. What is your prized possession? Okay, well, this one gets 2 entries on these 20 questions. The video deal. And my most prized possession right now is my Let It Be box set. I didn't think I'd ever own this, and this will come up again in another question, so we will put it to the side for now. But it's definitely my most prized possession right now. Question number 10. Show a record by a female artist. Okay, I will. I have a bunch of records by female artists because I like them a whole lot, but this one is one of my favorite, and her name is Barbara Lynn. And this is a reissue. It's called Here Is Barbara Lynn. And this is just an amazing record. She is a fantastic artist. She's a left-handed playing guitar player who writes her own songs and sings them from the 1960s. Her most famous song is called You'll Lose a Good Thing, or If You Should Lose Me, which I have in my jukebox. But she has so many great songs. I just really, really like her a whole lot. So, Barbara Lynn. Excellent, excellent artist. Okay, show a female artist. Number 11, show a record by your favorite band. This question should have just been relabeled show a Beatles record, because they're my favorite band. This happens to be a French pressing of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and it's in stereo. And it's from 1979. So this is my favorite band, the Beatles. Could you tell? No, I could. I know my girlfriend can. My girlfriend can, not cans. I don't know why I said cans. But she can tell, folks. I think everyone can. Number 12. What was an impulse buy? Okay. I was in a record store about a year ago, and I was done looking around the store. I didn't find anything I wanted. And then I randomly saw this record by Procol Harum called Shine On Brightly. And I was just like, I want to buy something. I'm going to buy this. So I just picked it up, paid for it. I think it was like $5 or $6. Ride Home, I really love it. It's a really great record. So this was my impulse buy. Saw it, bought it, didn't even think about it. It's a great record. So there you go. Number 13, a gift I've received. Okay. Back to the Let It Be box set. My friend Casey gave this to me, as I'm sure a lot of you know if you've seen my specific video on this Let It Be box set. This happens to be a Canadian, the Canadian version of the box set. And I just, honestly, I've received a bunch of really cool gifts of vinyl stuff. In fact, I recently received a gift from someone in the BC community, Bertram. I don't know your screen name on here, but he sent me 3 CDRs of Beatle pressings, of vinyl pressings transferred to CD that are amazing, and I really, really, really appreciate those. And I'm going to make a video about those very soon. But as far as a vinyl gift I've received, it's hard to top the Let It Be box set. So I didn't think I would ever own this or a complete version of this, and to have it, and actually for a while there, about a year ago, I was thinking about saving up money and trying to buy my own, but to get it as a gift is just blows my mind. So yeah, one of my prized possessions and favorite gift I've ever received from my friend Casey. Okay, my most played record. Okay, this is a hard one, but lately it's been this German pressing of the Beatles' Red album. It just sounds so good, and I could listen to these songs over and over and over again. Early Beatles to mid Beatles, it's just perfect music. So the Red album is my most played album right now. Show a rarity. Okay, this isn't really a rarity, but for me it's a rarity. This is George Harrison's Electronic Sound album that I found a couple months ago, and I didn't think I would ever own this or be able to find it in a record store for a reasonable price. And I got this, I think, for like $15. So my computer went to sleep. Let's unsleep it. So finding this was just really cool, and to me it's a rarity. So George Harrison's Electronic Sound is a rarity. I would pull out. Oh, Bobby wants to step on the box set, and we can't have that, so we're going to put it over here. Bobby's the cat, folks, if you don't know. And Bobby, say hello to the community. He's a little shy. He's not shy at all, but right now he's shy. Okay, show a rarity. I did that. Number 16. What is a rainy day record? A rainy record for me is Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde. It's just one of, okay, we gotta hold on. I gotta move the cat. He's just distracting me. But here he is, by the way, folks. Bobby. Okay, see you, Bob. Okay, little cameo. My rainy day record, Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde. The first song on here happens to be called Rainy Day Women, which is actually that song about getting stoned, which is my least favorite song on the record. But this double album is just so great. I don't need to tell you. It's always ranked as like in the top 3 albums of all time. Released in 1966, rock's first double album. This happens to be a reissue, which was pressed by Sundazed, and it's a mono pressing, and it just sounds so, so good. I love this record. One of my top 3 albums of all time. So this is my rainy day record. Always great. Blonde on Blonde. What is a feel-good album? That's an easy choice for me. Abbey Road. I can put this on, and it just always makes me feel good right away. So Abbey Road, for me, is my feel-good album. Here Comes the Sun is probably the most uplifting song, one of the most uplifting songs of all time. You hear that intro, and it's just like, you're in a good mood. At least I am. When I hear that. A nostalgic album. Okay. I think this is what this question is asking. For me, it's the Mamas and the Papas. This album is called Deliver. And this is my parents' copy, and it's very worn. It's got the original hype sticker on here, which says, includes the smash hit dedicated to the one I love. I remember lying on the floor when I was about 5 or 6, and my parents just blasting this record. I remember staring at the record cover, wondering why these 4 people are in the swimming pool drinking water out of this man's hat. I remember looking at the back cover and just reading it over and over again. It has their 4 horoscopes and all these cool pictures. And I remember having a crush on Michelle Phillips, a hardcore crush, being like, wow, she's really pretty and she's a really nice voice. And I just love this record, so it has a lot of good memories for me. When I put it on, I immediately am transformed back to when I was like 6 or 7 laying on the floor listening to this with my parents. So there you go, moms and papas deliver. It's in stereo, by the way. I don't know if you care or not. A record store day purchase. This is question number 19, so we only have 2 more questions. I chose this Harry Nilsson album that was released about 2 years ago, and it's called Sessions 1967 to 1975, Rarities from the RCA Albums Collection, and I love this record. It's so cool. Got a lot of really cool outtakes. I love Harry Nilsson. If I had to pick one artist that's underrated, it's Harry Nilsson. So good. He does a cover of a song on here that is, what is it? Called "Marry Me a Little," which is a Stephen Sondheim song, and it's so cool. The arrangement's really cool. I wouldn't think I would ever like a show tune done by Nilsson, but it's awesome. So Harry Nilsson is my record store day pick, and it's numbered on the back here. Although I always wonder about these numbering deals because I feel like, I don't know, it just seems like there's so many out there, and then they number them. Mine happens to be 1,451, but I just kind of wonder about the numbering system. Anyway, a little bit of my skepticism coming out. And the last one is a recent purchase. I can't exactly remember my most recent purchase, but I think this is maybe one of them. This is an album by the Arctic Monkeys, and it's not a new record. Well, it's new compared to most of my other records I have. This is released in 2009, but I bought it about a month ago. And it's this album called Humbug, and I love it. It's so good. It's like a cross between like the Beatles, the Stones, and the Kinks. And I don't ever say that. I don't like comparing people to the Beatles or the Kinks or the Stones. This is truly what it is. So if you've never heard the Arctic Monkeys, if you kind of shy away from modern music because you think like it's all kind of crap, which I don't, by the way, but the stuff on the radio definitely, in my opinion, isn't very good. But if you dig deep, you can find some good stuff, and I think the Arctic Monkeys are one of those bands. They're so good. They're just a rock and roll band, and the writing is so clever. It's really good rock and roll. So, Arctic Monkeys, Humbug, check it out. It's fantastic. So, that's my list. I'd love to hear any comments here. I'd love to read any comments down below. Maybe you have about some of my choices. I would love to see you make a video of your list because it's fun to watch these videos and check out what people have to say and what some of their favorite records are. And yeah, this is a very good list. I don't know who created this list. I'd love to give you credit. If I find out, let me know in the comments if you know who created this list. Anyway, that's it for now, and all of you, hope you have a good weekend ahead of you. Bye for now.